Welcome to another edition of.
I'm so sorry. Do I have to speak the way she's speaking? Do I have to make my voice loud? I think that's why we have the
No,
mic.
this intro. Intro has to be energetic. Now, I'm going to
This babe, what's your problem? I was like, no, I can't talk like that.
Intro. Not gonna put we are
I just
arrived.
wanted to set that straight. So I'm not. I'm sorry about that.
You better speak your normal Yoruba English.
Let me just speak.
Hello there. Welcome to another edition of the Allow Talk Show where education meets innovation. My name remains Adasa, your host with the uttermost. On the conversation table today, I have one of the youngest mental health enthusiasts that I know as a person. And today we'll be talking about the issue of sleep. I mean, sleep is an issue that needs to be discussed because without quality sleep, there is no overall physical health. So I'd like him to please introduce himself. Hi.
I'm Dr. Ewole, a recent medical school graduate, a mental health enthusiast, and I'm also the founder of the Stillwater's Mental Health Foundation, a foundation that has chapters in various countries, about 20 countries in Africa. And I'm very happy to be here to share my views on this particular topic called sleep.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ewole. It's such an honor to have you on the show today. And today we'll be discussing about unraveling the mysteries of sleep, the importance of quality rest, and we'll be linking it to mental health. Dr. Ewole, I understand that quality sleep is essential for both physical and mental well-being. But yet, as humans, we struggle to get the rest that we need. What do you think is attached to people who are unable to get quality sleep?
Okay, I would like to say quite a number of things about what she just raised now. And I would like to start from saying that sleep is different from just going to bed. Sleep is different from just lying down on the bed. Sleep is actually a conscious effort to want to take a rest. Now, we have a lot of people that are on the bed. They're just there physically, but their minds are far away. Their minds are not settled. They're thinking about their problems. They're thinking about their challenges. They're thinking about the next day. They're thinking about the day after. And this is one of the things that really affects sleep. In fact, when we talk about mental health, disturbed sleep is one of the key factors that shows that a person has depression. For instance, now we have people that are not able to sleep. They have insomnia. There's some people that they have to take medication to actually sleep. When people start getting to this phase, it means that their mental health is disturbed. And I mean seriously disturbed. That is one of the first indicators. So I would like us to also take a lot of importance in taking good rest. And I'm sure that I'll be able to shed more light as we go on in this discussion.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ewole. That was succinct and valuable. For me as an individual, there are times that no matter how hard I try, I can't just get to sleep. On even days when I'm stressed and I know that, okay, my body needs rest, I'm still unable to sleep. So what do you think someone like me can do to make sleep come easily for me?
Okay, I'll say one of the things to first know is that we have to try other means of getting you to sleep before going to medications. Because a lot of people abuse sleeping pills.
Definitely.
You just want to sleep, you have to take sleeping pills. And then it's a very bad thing to be dependent on it. But one of the things that I would really advise is that when you're having problem with sleep, it means that there's something on your mind. There's something that you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Many times when people have plans, maybe it's not working out, they have it in their minds. And then even when they close their eyes, they are still not able to sleep because their subconscious is still very much awake. So one of the things that I would like to say is it's very important to practice meditation. Meditation goes a long way in helping people to sleep. You being able to think about your problems, being able to think about it before going to sleep. I'm someone that does meditation a lot. I stay alone, think about your problems, make sure that your mind is at rest before you go to sleep. If your mind is not at rest before you go to sleep, then there's no sleep. Another thing I would like to talk about is it's very important that you have a good dinner. Let me put it as dinner before going to bed. Because sometimes the reason why people are not sleeping is because imagine me eating pounded yam or a big F4 around 10 a.m. going to sleep. Then you're going to have problems sleeping. You're going to have a lot of problems sleeping. So these are some of the things that really affect how people get to sleep. And I'm sure that from this beautiful conversation, we'll get to learn more about how we can get to sleep better.
Thank you very much. I mean, you said something that I really found fascinating, and that is, eating light meals during late night, eating meals that are not too heavy so that you can go to bed easily. That's a very, very important factor because, most people, they don't take cognizance of what they're eating. They are not even observant of their nutrition. They just eat anything as it comes because I'm tired. I could just cook rice and stew and I'm good to go. But now that Dr. Iwole has said it, you should know that taking heavy meals before sleeping could also make sleep very difficult for you. Now, to talk about mental health, how do you think quality sleep influences quality mental health?
I'm a Christian, so let me just start by saying this. There's a
Okay.
part of the scriptures that says he gives his beloved sleep. I mean, good sleep. A very important quality of a sound mind is quality sleep, quality rest. And like I said earlier, talking about the cardinal symptoms of, for instance, depression or even anxiety is disturbed sleep. We are in a generation where there's a lot of going up and down. There's a lot of hustle and bustle, the economy, trying to raise a family, trying to make ends meet is very, very challenging. And a lot of us are having mental illness because of sleep. A lot of people are having mental illness. And we give ourselves different excuses. Different excuses. Some people say it's work. Some people say it's school. I remember, in medical school, they tell us that you're supposed to have only 4 hours of sleep. That once you are sleeping past 4 hours of sleep, once you're sleeping past 4 hours, you are in trouble. It means that you're not being a medical student. But in the real essence, we as medical professionals, we usually advocate for sleep because of the importance that it brings. The truth is that your brain has to rest. The truth is that your body has to rest. The truth is that for you to continually be able to make impact and to even make exploits, your body has to have a time of rest. And once we neglect this part, we are going to have serious issues. We're going to have deterioration in the value that we bring into life, and it's going to have a rebound effect on even our mental health. In the sense that, for instance, now maybe you're not sleeping because you are working on the project, you are working so hard on it, and then it makes you burn out. And then at the end of the day, you're not getting the results you want to get from that project because of the burnout. You're going to have a rebound effect on your mental health, meaning that even the effort that you're trying to put is going to get worsened. So sleep is so important. It helps us to relax our brain. In fact, many times even when you don't sleep, you know that it is telling on you. The same way some people take medications to sleep, the same way some people take medications to stay awake. I know a number of
Mm.
people that because of exams, they didn't go to bed, and then they got to the exams and they had a serious brain block because it's going to be telling on your brain. There's going to be a time that your brain needs to relax and then step back up to perform its function rapidly and effectively.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. So it has been known that stress and anxiety is one of the leading interference with sleep. So as a mental health advocate who has worked with several people, you understand the intricacies of mental health. What are the techniques for managing stress and anxiety?
Okay, I think the first thing about stress and anxiety is identifying the stressors. It's very important to identify the stressors because you can't prevent what you don't know. Once you take a time to study yourself, you find out that there are some things that make you prone to being very stressed. Sometimes it may be physical activity, sometimes it may be one friend, sometimes it may be your relationship. It may not even be
I
a
know,
romantic
right?
relationship, but for instance, maybe a relationship with your father, with your mother. It's very important to identify the stressors. Sometimes you might need therapy. I advocate for therapy. I believe that therapy should be normalized because in
Mm.
this part of Africa, we feel
Oh,
that
okay, okay. Let me just cut you a bit. You believe that therapy should be normalized. But what should we do in a country like this where therapy is very expensive? Do you know that the average Nigerian cannot afford therapy for even 1 month? Except for mental health organizations who provide free therapy sections. But when you walk into maybe a private hospital and you ask to see a therapist. I mean, a therapist that would monitor your mental health for months. It seems to be so expensive, even above the minimum wage. So, what do you think can be done? Because so many people refuse to seek for help. I've seen cases of people who have refused to seek for help because they feel that therapy is expensive. So they just decide to wallow in that mental health illness. They believe that it will just go. They take drugs to sleep, some take drugs to stay awake, they take all sorts of energy drinks, they misuse alcohol and drugs instead of seeing a therapist to talk to for counseling and all. So what do you think can be done?
I think first of all, like what I said, is that therapy has to be normalized. You might feel that a lot of people know about therapy, but a lot of people, especially here in Africa, don't know about therapy and also don't believe in it. They believe that I just want drugs. That's what we are used to in Africa. You have this pain in your body, you take paracetamol, panadol. You have this, you take one drug, but they don't believe that a person just interacting with a person can make you feel better. They don't believe that just having a conversation can make things better.
Hmm.
And I feel that first of all, we have to make people know about therapy. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people don't know the intricacies that has to do with it. A lot of people don't even know that people go to school to become therapists, to become psychologists. So I think one of the first things is raising awareness on therapy. And number two, I feel that there's a lot of, let me say, stigma on people.
Yes, I was
Yes,
going to say that.
exactly. Because once I can't tell my friend now in Africa and say, oh, as a guy, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go and see a therapist. It sounds better to
Sounds
say,
like
oh, I have high blood pressure, I have diabetes. It sounds more acceptable. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I'm going to see a
yeah.
doctor. But in Africa, it looks like a sign of weakness that you want to see a therapist. Just wash it off. Just take it off. It's not so much of a big deal. So I believe that these are some of the things that we have to do to make therapy. And then also, people just go to the hospital not even knowing that these services are available. I know through my foundation, there are a lot of people that have been able to link to therapists even for free, and they got enough services. But people don't even know that, you can't access what you don't even know exists. So I
Hmm.
believe that we should start from making people know about it. And then those that even know about it, make them more comfortable with doing it. And that's why I'm so happy that LR Talk it can make me have the opportunity of talking about therapy, talking about mental health, because you know that even mental health is just gaining a lot of traction. It's been a lot about physical health, the
Hmm.
kidney
Yeah.
diseases, the heart diseases, being pregnant, wanting to deliver, children's health. But now we are having a lot of attention because people are saying that health is more than just being fit physically.
Thank you very much. So, Dr. Tumisha, we've talked about therapy. I even like the fact that you mentioned stigma. I was going to say that in the society where we live, stigmatization is gradually becoming a thing. When it comes to you telling someone, if, in fact, it boils down to just telling someone that you're having mental health issues. They start to think that he's running mad, she's running mad. The stigma is there. Talk more say that you're going to see a therapist. They now feel that, oh, the real madness just set in. So I really appreciate the fact that you shed more light on the stigmatization that people face whenever they try to access therapy sessions. We've talked about therapy. We know that sleep patterns can be improved through medications, prescribed by a doctor. We know that you mentioned eating heavy meals before sleep and all of that. So I just want you to highlight some more tips for improving sleep hygiene, for improving, quality sleep pattern. Some
Okay.
people find it very easy to fall asleep, but right in the midnight, their eyes are open. They don't know how to just continue sleep. It becomes so hard for them, and it gradually becomes a routine. So, what are some of the tips again, apart from the ones you've mentioned, that you think people should imbibe to improve sleep hygiene?
Okay. For some people, they have a time that they must just be able to sleep. And I've worked with some people like that. Some of my friends, for instance, if we say 9 o'clock, if 9 o'clock passes, they won't be able to sleep, and then they would have to find something to do maybe to much later. So, for the first thing I would like to say is that you have to understand yourself. You have to understand
Mm,
your own sleep pattern.
yeah.
It's very, very important. It's not going to be a case where maybe you are still outside, maybe with friends and all of that, when you know that this is your bedtime. Do you get? So I think that's something that really helps. Number two, reducing a lot of these drinks that have caffeine. Taking coffee. A lot of people
Yeah, I
take
mean, that's
coffee.
very important.
is something
Lots
that
of energy drinks. Young people
exactly
now abuse
energy.
energy drinks.
I'm telling you, a lot of energy drinks, all these fearless. You want to read, you want to. I believe that we should very much desist from that. Whatever thing you want to do, you can factor it into your day. It's just better time management. I feel once you're able to manage your time well, you'll be able to fix it in one way or the other. Also, some people find it difficult to sleep in new environments. I have a very
That's
close,
me.
I have a very close friend that if she sleeps in a new place, even if it's a hotel, a very high class hotel, she might not be able to sleep comfortably.
I
She
think that's
might not.
me. That's the case I mean.
She might not be able to sleep comfortably because it's not where she's used to. So
Mm.
for such a person, you have to make yourself very comfortable before you sleep. You have to make sure that you're sleeping where it's comfortable. You have to make sure that you're sleeping where you'll be very convenient in. You can make convenience is not even only about the place, sometimes it's about the people that are there. Do we get so
Mm.
that also plays a major role. Then number two, I believe that there are some medications that once you take those medications before going to bed, it will affect your sleep patterns. Do you get?
Okay.
And it will have been indicated. So such drugs are maybe taken much earlier, maybe in the morning, so that they don't affect your sleep. Do you get? So such a drug should not be the one you would take in the evening because you skipped. I don't know if you get what I'm saying now,
I
because
understand.
you just stay awake. Okay. And then of course, not using stimulants like cocaine, smoking, codeine. There's a lot of drug addiction problems
Hmm.
out there. I believe that desisting from these two would also help control our sleep pattern. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, I've had an amazing time on the show today. I mean, I've learned healthy tips for quality sleep pattern. I've learned the link between sleep and mental health. So, lastly, I want to ask you, as an individual, what are some of the lifestyle patterns that has helped you maintain a good? Now let's leave being a medical student. Like you said, medical students barely sleep. So now that you're done with medical school, what is that lifestyle pattern that you think people should also imbibe to help them sleep well? Because sleep is really important. For me, on days when I don't sleep well, I would definitely feel it. I mean, my day might not be too productive. So that shows the essence of quality sleep. So what are some lifestyle patterns that you have imbibed as an individual?
Okay, I think I would like to first start by saying that it doesn't get easier to find good sleep because the more the responsibilities you have,
Mm.
the harder it is to find good sleep. For instance, now being a doctor is even more difficult than when I was a medical student because I have to do call duties over the night, be on call, and then the call may be so busy, then I have to resume the next day. But one of the things that I do is that when I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping. It's not like I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about
Mm.
that. Once it's time to sleep, anytime I get the opportunity to sleep, I make sure I sleep. Even when I was a medical student, I remember there was really no time that we had exam that I wouldn't find, even if it's just 1 hour, 2 hours before the exam, before going out, before setting out in the day, I would always find time to sleep. And also, like I said, I've had to desist from a lot of energy drinks. I used to
Drinks.
be a
Yeah.
very good Coke lover. In fact, most people that know me with Coke, but recently I found out that it's really affected my sleep pattern because of the caffeine content. So I don't really take Coke again. In fact, I've desisted from that. Then of course, um, I don't do stimulants. I don't do cocaine or
Right.
you get. Then I try as much as possible to make sure that on busy days, on very stressful days, I sleep earlier than I used to. That also helps me a lot. Like if I plan to sleep by 10, if the day was very busy, I'll sleep around 8. Then there was something that Einstein said. He said that sleep is very important. That if a person misses sleep for 10 days, I don't know if it's proven, not sleeping for 10 days can lead to death. I don't know how
Mm.
true that
It
is.
might be true because even people who can't sleep for 2, 3 days, they
I'm
start
telling you,
misbehaving.
and then it has a lot of effect on our body, even physically, not just even our mental health. You start getting weak, start telling on your bones, on your muscles, things that you'll be able to do ordinarily, you would start to degrade in it. So I believe that one of those are the things that have really helped me. And then, like I said, I do a lot of motivation and meditation too. like knowing that I have to ponder a lot of things before I go to bed. So it's not in my subconscious, because some people, even when they try to get themselves to sleep, they have this nightmare, they have this dream. And a lot of our dreams are from our subconscious mind. It's a lot of what we are thinking about, and then they just wake up and they're not able to sleep again. There's even some people that are able to sleep at one point or the other. So I believe that I try to cleanse my mind. I try to cleanse my mind as much as possible before going to bed. Then when we wake up the next morning,
You
get on
got
with life.
refreshed. Okay, so it is important to note that we live in an African society, and everything is tied around myth, misconceptions, stereotypes. And I'm very sure that sleep as a topic itself has some myths attached to it.
Very true.
So, as a medical doctor who is educated, learned, and is an elite, I want you to share the myth that you've heard and you would wish to correct about sleep.
Okay, people talk about sleep a lot and say that the spirit world is speaking to you through sleep. Then when you dream, a lot of that. We have a lot of, especially in this society. Oh, you had this dream, and then the person is trying to interpret the dream for you. That they're trying to speak to you through the sleep. The sleep is another kind of realm. You're transiting from physical to almost spiritual. So you're like midway. A lot of people say things like that, but the truth is that many of the dreams, like I said earlier, that we have are from products of what's in our subconscious, things that we pondered about. Just take this as an example. An African man will have a dream of masquerade chasing him and about to cut off his head. The masquerade chased him, chased him, chased him, then ran into a very thick forest, and then the masquerade was still chasing him, and then stopped. Started saying some incantations, blah, 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 blah. But do you think a white man will have such? A white man is not going
I
to.
think environment influences all those things
Yes,
too.
exactly. So it's just our mind, because the environment has a part in our mind. Do you get what I'm saying? The environment, exposure. So a white man is not going to have a white man that doesn't have a masquerade already in his subconscious. He's not going to dream of a masquerade. Maybe he will dream of maybe someone programming his brain with a computer from miles away, or he swallowed a microchip. Do you get what I'm saying? So a lot of what people have that dreams, and they bring myths about, oh, maybe like the spiritual realm. I'm not trying to waylay that totally.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to say that a lot of sleep disturbances that we have, and then we try to give excuses for spiritual speaking or communication, is actually not true. Good sleep has to do with a mind that is very solid. Your mind has to go to rest before you can sleep.
Wow.
And that's one of the things that supports that claim.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ewale. I heard something. Your mind has to go to rest before you can sleep. I believe that this edition is so important to our overall health. And I know that after watching this edition, you'll be able to sleep well and sleep tight, including myself. Thank you so much for accepting to be on the show with us. And we hope the next time we'll invite you and you will also honor our invitation.
It's my very pleasure. And I'd like to appreciate LR Talks for the privilege to
Thank
share
you.
my views on this particular topic. Thank you
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Ewale, for unraveling the mysteries of sleep. Now that you know the mystery of sleep, I wish you sound sleep and quality sleep from henceforth. My name remains Adasa, and I am your host on the LR Talk Show, where education meets innovation. See you at the next edition. Cheers.